The Tohono O'odham Indian Reservation is on the border in southwestern Arizona. The reservation has about 62 miles of border with Mexico. There are about 70 miles of border in the area that only have vehicle barrier at most, including a few miles on either side of the reservation. This stretch is wide open to those on foot. Illegal crossers or drug smugglers can hike to a highway, a safe house, or a pickup location. The reservation is bounded on the west by the Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument. There's a border crossing in Lukeville. On the east, the reservation reaches almost to Sasabe, where there's another border crossing. The reservation border is bounded on east and west by low mountain ridges. This image shows the current vehicle barrier from a distance. There's not much on the south side of the border except desert. The original Tohono O'odham territory extended to the other side, well into Mexico. The media often makes it sound as if there's a continuous tribal community across the border to support a narrative that the tribe is being divided by border enforcement. However, I believe it's private or Mexican government land here now, and very few tribal members live near the border on the Mexican side. I read that there are about 10,000 living on the U.S. reservation and a much smaller number in Mexico, maybe around 2,000. However, in Mexico, they live immersed in the larger Mexican population in the larger towns 70 or 80 miles away, such as Caborca, Plutarco, Elias Calles, Puerto Peñasco, and in scattered small rancherias and communities. I could be wrong, but I don't believe Mexico has any land reserved for the tribe on their side, and I don't believe the tribe has any significant communally owned land in Mexico. There are no highways on the south side near the border, only dirt roads in this area. I didn't go on the Mexican side because I didn't want to drive 30 or 40 miles on an isolated dirt road in a high-traffic smuggling area. On the U.S. side, the roads were washed out from recent rains. For that reason, I could not get close enough to the border to take my own photos, so I used a few images from the internet just to make this short initial report. The vehicle barrier here is made of short, thick bollards with cables between the bollards. This is not a barrier at all to those on foot, of course. According to an article by the Phoenix New-Times, hundreds of tribe members have been convicted of smuggling. There are not a lot of jobs on the reservation, and the money that can be earned from smuggling activity is a big temptation. This is not just a problem on the reservation, though. Corruption of local residents by the smuggling cartels is a problem all along the border. This is another part of the fence, which instead of cables has train rails welded between the bollards. Reportedly, there used to be 5 gates, and the tribe members drove back and forth to Mexico via these gates, just using their tribal ID, no passport. It's private land on the other side, according to the sign on the gate. The owner posted this sign telling the Border Patrol not to allow the tribe members to cross, or they would sue the tribe and the U.S. government. Apparently, they still cross on foot in places, though. They say to visit their sacred sites and relatives. You can still see vehicle tracks here, so it seems someone is still crossing via this gate in vehicles. This place is not a very friendly environment for the Border Patrol. Smuggling on the reservation is said to be at least as active as other places where the border is wide open like here. The tribe is very much against building a better fence. If a better border fence is built here while the rest of the border nearby is secured, it will obviously funnel much of the smuggling traffic through the reservation. Teddy Roosevelt created a 60-foot wide easement on the southern border except for Texas. There does not appear to be any real reason that they can't build on this strip of land except for tribal politics. They have control of it. This year, Trump is supposed to have $9 billion more, and hopefully he'll be able to build here too. However, I haven't heard of any concrete plans yet. That's all for now. Hopefully I'll be able to get closer to the border next time I pass this way and do an update.